All right, welcome to my hangar. We're here tonight. We just finished up, as I mentioned earlier, the Monday of our Future Aviators Summer Camp. We had 100 kids, about 23 counselors as part of the program this week. It was a wonderful day. It was hot. It was hotter than Hades out there. Everybody had a great time, but I'm a little exhausted. So a little bit of time tonight. So I figured we'll take the opportunity and talk about the history of the Ranger-powered Great Lakes, how I ended up with it, where I am currently in the build process, and what we need to do to move forward, and a little bit about the history of the Great Lakes Aircraft Company. So sit back, kick back, relax, and enjoy the show. All right, so here's where this project started for me. I ordered a set of original plans that I was able and lucky enough to find for the Great Lakes. I actually have 3 sets now. But I have 5 drawers full of original drawings. Some are in great condition, others not so much, like this one right here. But not only do I have all the engineering drawings, but I have several manuals and document after document, which fuselage drawing, firewall drawings, everything that you can imagine for this aircraft. So a wealth of information when you're building an airplane. However, again, like I said, in order to build this airplane from scratch, it would take a super long time, and finding this project really was a perfect airplane for me. We go and talk a little bit about the history, when the Great Lakes Biplane started, and a little bit of history on the Great Lakes Aircraft Company. In 1929, the Great Lakes Aircraft Company was formed in Cleveland, Ohio, at the former site of the Martin Aircraft Company. They built civilian biplanes, float planes, as well as biplane torpedo bombers and dive bombers under contract to the U.S. Navy. In 1933, the company was reportedly working on a steam power plant for driving aircraft turbines. The model that most people think of today when someone says Great Lakes Aircraft is the enduring 2T biplane, also known as the Great Lakes Sport Trainer. It was designed and sold as a 2-place open cockpit biplane. The first engines were a 85 horsepower American Cirrus 3 motor. The 2T biplane was not as large as some of its contemporaries manufactured by Stearman, Waco, and Travel Air. The original models had a wingspan of 26 feet 8 inches and a length of 20 feet 4 inches. The useful load was 578 pounds and was stressed for 9 G positive and 6 Gs negative. It had an outrigger landing gear with spring oleo shock struts and a range of about 375 miles. As the years went by, the original Cirrus engine installation was replaced by Warner radials, inline Monascos, and Fairchild Rangers, and horizontally opposed Lycomings, Franklins, and Continentals. All right, there's so many neat things to show you about this airplane. I'm not really sure where to start. But tonight, I think what we're going to do is start with the front of the airplane, and we'll go to the back throughout future episodes. But again, this is a 200 horse inline inverted 6 Ranger aircraft engine that we are fitting onto the fuselage. I do have an original set of Ranger plans which showed us how to build the engine mount. I'll show you some photos here of the construction of the mount and how I went about welding up a new mount to fit onto the fuselage. But we're going to take off the left cowling and take a peek at the engine real quick. Let me grab a screwdriver. So the cowling on this engine is actually a Fairchild 24 cowling that I'm adapting to fit the Great Lakes. For me, my opinion is this aircraft looks best with an inline engine. And I was able to find a core Ranger All right, so you can see where I currently am with the fitting of the Ranger engine. I actually have the engine mount completed. It's actually more or less finished welded. There's a couple brackets I need to weld on to the other side for the oil filter. This side is pretty far along. I do need to add a couple attachments for like the throttle cable and the mixture cable for the carburetor that's going to mount here. But it's all mounted. I got the engine mounts on, and the position of this engine in relation to the firewall is fairly tight, and that's where the plan showed it. The starter, the ideal starter would be a Y150, which is a 90-degree starter for this engine to fit nicely behind the firewall. I still have to make some cutouts in the firewall for the rudder pedals. There's openings that the rudder pedals have to be able to go through on the firewall, so I still have to complete that. So there's certainly some work done, or some work that has to be done firewall forward, but this engine I think is going to be an excellent engine. We're going to tear it apart. We're going to go through the entire engine and look at every piece, measure magnaflux, and certainly overhaul this engine, but I'm pretty excited about it as well. All right, guys, I think that is it for me tonight. I am spent. It was a long day. We have another full day of the Future Aviators Camp tomorrow and the rest of the week. However, certainly need to make time for the Great Lakes behind me. But if you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up to stay tuned for future videos on the Great Lakes. I also have some future videos planned for the Taylorcraft L2 that we recently finished the restoration in, as well as some more videos in the Fairchild and the Beechcraft Baron, which has a awesome Garmin TXI panel. So stay tuned, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and we'll see you soon. Have a good night.